Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Jodi Dancers Talks. Today we have Suneet Chandarana with us. Hi Suneet.
Hi Pritpal, hi Rav, thank you for having me on this talk.
So obviously as the viewers are aware, we do mental health talks. This is our third series now. And we wanted to get a different perspective on it, especially from a younger person trying to get into the employment market, okay? Firstly, Suneet, when did you graduate? When was your graduation?
I graduated 7 months ago now.
7 months ago, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
go on, sorry, go on.
yeah, so I graduated 7 months ago and was looking for a job as a paralegal at a law firm, but just applying, getting nowhere. Couple interviews here and there with COVID, no one's doing interviews or just phone interviews. It's going nowhere. And I think it's a cliche comment. Like when I'm talking to my friends and stuff, they're just like, "Oh yeah, it's pandemic. You're not going to get a job. It's difficult. This and that. Focus on something else." But I think with me, it's really different. Like I can take a rejection and then just bounce back off it, and just keep pushing myself, like not giving up essentially. And the job I'm at right now, how I landed it, it's insane. So for example, this is how it planned out. So I was applying, and actually, I found this job advert on Indeed and Reed, and all these agencies and stuff. And what I saw, it had been listed 13 days ago. I was like, there's no way I'm getting this job, right? But me being me, I was like, why not just send my CV across to the firm? What's the worst that will happen? I'll just get another rejection, right? So sent it across, and a couple hours later, I get an email saying, there's an interview set up. I'm like, oh sugar, this is a bit too soon. It's set up for the next day afternoon. So I'm like, oh God, what am I gonna do? Anyway, went to the interview in the afternoon. Then a couple hours later, another interview. So I had two interviews on the same day. And by the evening, I had the job. And it was like, damn, I went from applying to so many jobs to just landing a job. And it's just like me, and that just proves me like as in like obviously everyone's different, but as in my point is with perseverance, not giving up, and just not falling for what everyone else is thinking, but just knowing what you want, and keeping strong about it. Because I've been through it, and I know I haven't had it as hard as other people, because I haven't got the financial burden as other people may have. Like I don't have a mortgage, I don't have bills to pay and stuff like that, so it's not been as difficult. But I can slightly put my I can go into other people's shoes and just imagine, like, even when people are losing jobs now, like how like the pressure they're going through must just be insane. Like when landing this job, it was just such a relief, because I'm thinking, oh, I need to pay for law exams, I need to pay for this, and it's just landing the job in that way, even though it wasn't any financial burden in terms of bills, mortgage, stuff like that. But now I'm just more comfortable, like, okay, now I can pay for my law exams easily. So yeah, yeah.
So now with your job, was this, how many interviews did you have from like when you first started applying to this current job? Roughly how many interviews did you think you went for?
So most of them just be like, oh, your application hasn't been successful, right? But in terms of job interviews, because of the COVID, I had 2 phone call interviews and 3 I went in.
Okay.
And the thing is, like, even when you're going in, like, even on the job resume, they'll be like, oh, they want two years legal experience. And it's like, but I've just graduated 7 months ago. Like, what do you want me to do, right? And even the job I'm at right now, on their expectations, they're like, oh, the ideal candidate should have 2 years experience. And it's just like, so when at the interview, I explained, look, even though I don't have 2 years experience, I'm able to pick up things quickly. I'm a fast learner. I've had 1 year's experience. Just give me a shot, right? And it's all on probation. You're on the probation period. You're on this, that. So, they're not tied. You're not tied down to the company, right? And they're not tied down with you. So it's just proving yourself constantly, like, and obviously it's in a positive way. Like, oh look, I can do this. This is achievable if you just keep going and keep pushing yourself to do it. As hard as it is, you just gotta keep doing it. Like I would, like, every rejection, I like the evening I just take off and I'm like, oh, another one. But it's just pulling yourself back up and just really going for it.
So then linking it back to your to your mental health? Obviously, you said you had 2 phone interviews and 3 in person, but you had a lot of applications that were rejected.
Yeah.
Usually, like the process is you get an email within a few hours saying it's not been
Yeah,
accepted.
it's not happening.
How, like, especially the first few times, how did it make you feel personally? Like you said, you had the dodgy evenings, but like, how did it make you feel personally?
Oh, so it really knocked, well, for me, it knocked me down. The first few, it knocked my self-confidence down because I'm there like, oh yeah, my CV is up to date. It's good. I've got everything I want on it. It's I've got the extracurricular, I've got the academic. It's all there. And it's like, what more? Like, because me and my mate, so what would happen? We discuss these kind of things, like, because we're applying at the same time. He's just graduated as well.
Yeah.
And like, what more can you put on a CV than what's already there? Like, it's insane. And it's just, sometimes I felt worthless. I'm like, look, everything I'm doing is just pointless. Like, what am I even doing? And I had a thought of giving up. First few that came through, but should just keep going, keep applying. Yeah.
So in terms of your, you've had a very sort of persistent attitude. I'd say like a very good resilient attitude. But what did you sort of do? Because like when you get a rejection, it obviously, like you said, it doesn't make you feel good. Was there anything that you did in particular to help you overcome that mood?
Yeah. So obviously when the first few rejections came, just feeling low, and I started watching like these inspirational videos on YouTube, like these podcasts. Like I listened to podcasts, and like one that really changed my whole attitude completely to what I was like 9 months ago to my attitude now. Like for example, if I compare myself 9 months ago, if I didn't get something, I wasn't too worried. I'd be like, oh, it's fine, right? Like everyone's in the same boat. But now, like, I think before starting this, I mentioned David Goggins and like his podcast on YouTube, and it's just like so inspirational. Like you're just, it's the mentality of just not giving up, like perseverance and resilience, and just going for it. Like you go through all the hardships, but at the end, you have an aim and you get to it. And to get through it, and so I did that. Started running, started doing 5K runs, like just health wise. I was becoming more health conscious, and I felt like not only was I becoming healthier, but my mental health was improving. Like I was feeling much more fresh. I could concentrate like a lot more. So running helped me a lot, especially during pandemic when I was just sitting at home doing nothing, just eating junk all the time, like standard uni behavior. But yeah, I would say running and cycling was just in general exercise and keeping in shape was a really good positive thing
So
I
when you
did.
first came across David and his podcast, was it sort of an immediate change that you felt, or did it take a bit of time to sort of embed into your sort of daily routine?
Okay, so I came across David Goggins at around 11 o'clock at night on YouTube when I was feeling really down. Yeah. And his podcasts are like an hour and a half long. So I watched an hour, really focus onto it. I'm trying to take everything. Like I like these inspirational videos. I don't like inspirational videos that just have a make-up story and like, oh, earn £1 million in 3 weeks. That's not real life inspiration. Real life inspiration is like, like watching someone and hearing a story of someone who's actually gone through what they say they've gone through. Like David Goggins was like, he was like super overweight, how he's turned his whole life around, whatnot. So it's listening to that. I heard an hour of it, and then I fall asleep while watching it, and then I'll pick it up to rewind and watch it again. But I think it was pretty much sudden. Like literally the next day I went out on a run. I couldn't do 5K. I did like 2K and died, but I still went out and did it.
But what I like about that is sort of the universal message, like, of mental health. Because like David Goggins, he was overweight, but you were experiencing a completely different issue with regards to accepting rejection from employment, which you wanted. It wasn't something that you just sort of half bothered. You genuinely wanted it, and it's sort of that rejection. So it's interesting to see the parallels between David Goggins running and you running, for example. And then just to finish up on this last point, you said that when you started cycling and you started running, it helped your mental health. Can you elaborate a bit more on that? Like, what do you mean by helping your mental health?
Okay, so just referring back to David Goggins, obviously because it's inspired from there. One of the things when I went out for a 5K run, I couldn't do it. I did 2K and just started and walked back home, right? But then just keep listening. I was halfway through his podcast, and the second half was how to actually achieve what you want, right? And something that I apply, which he said, is you mentally go through the route. For example, if I want to run 5K, like I run around a field, that's 20 laps of a field. Mentally, I've already gone through 20 laps of the field. All I have to do now is physically do it. So mentally, I'm prepared to now go 20 times. I'm not just unprepared, I'm just running. I've mentally prepared myself to go through it. So I'm focused, I'm I listen to music, this and that, just to keep me encouraged to keep going. But it's all about mentality. And like when I did my first 10K, that's all it boiled down to. My legs were like, dude, what are you doing? Like insane. But because mentally I've imagined myself going around 40 times doing the lap, I'm just like, I have to do this, and like just keep going. And seeing on my app, like, oh, 6 kilometers done, 10 kilometers done, like, it's just getting physically there now, but because mentally I'm prepared. So and after finishing like the runs and stuff, and you're tired, but refreshing up, and you just feel so much like I felt much more confident, wasn't tired, you focus much more, like.
And I've noticed as well, so just to summarize what you said, I've noticed, especially in our second series with lockdown, a lot of people started taking up hobbies like running and cycling, which they never thought they would because they had such a busy lifestyle. And it's all about adapting. And from what I got from your talk, it's sort of overcoming those hurdles. Yeah, you get rejected once, you get rejected twice, and then you go in with the mentality of, look, I'm going to apply, and it's being persistent enough to say, okay, even if I get a rejection, I know I'll get the next one. I'll get the next one.
Yeah.
And I think it's an important message, especially for a lot of graduates out there currently looking for jobs, even for people that are unemployed, unfortunately, due to the circumstances.
Yeah.
It's about having that sort of mentality change, whatever it may be, but also looking after yourself, more importantly, because rejection can get you down, and then it puts you in a spiral. I want to thank you for your time, Suneet. And it's really interesting. Like I said, hopefully some graduates take some sort of inspiration from this episode.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Have a nice evening.
Bye, thanks so much, Bob. Thank you, Rav.